Because what did she was phrasing it weird too. It's like,
I have a brain disorder?
Yeah, a terminal brain disorder. Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching Euphoria, Season 2, Episode 6.
Oh, sorry. 1,000 little trees of blood.
Oh, extra.
It's so much.
Although, this fucking show, I can't believe how on my toes it keeps me.
Yeah.
I had no idea where we were going.
Me neither.
And the weirdest place is all of the places it made me imagine that it then didn't go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like...
I thought, again, just like a couple weeks ago, I was like, someone's
dying.
Someone's not making out of this episode alive.
It's wild. I just like... These people, they're all awful. Like, but it's fascinating. I don't know. We start with Rue. Zendaya is so good because I'm critical of drama, of like dramatic acting. And there's an old adage, it's dying's easy, comedy's hard. And I agree. I think that comedy doesn't get even like an iota of the amount of respect it deserves. But she does more than just, you know what I mean?
She's committing to the craft.
There's so much. There's so many layers. The fact that we were just staring at her for a couple of minutes.
Trying to open a Jolly Rancher.
Was there a story with the Jolly Rancher?
I don't know. I mean, I think she still probably has lockjaw coming down from it. And
I thought I remember there was a plot point involving a Jolly Rancher in something I watched recently. I couldn't remember if it had anything to do with it, but
she also is just depleting all of her everything. So she needs sugar and stuff.
That's the first place I went. I was like, this is probably for the best. She needs sugar and water. I have been very impressed by Leslie, both as a character and the actress's performance, because she was kind of a non-entity, like a non-presence for a hot minute, and now she's been back, and it's
really okay. It's really nice to have one of these parents be legitimate.
I've got thoughts. Okay. I've got thoughts around the board.
First of all, her name is Nika King, and she's amazing. And second of all, this was an episode about the mothers that we know, because Jules' mother is absent. But we didn't get Maddie's mother.
No, we met her in passing. Yeah. There was like a Maddie-centric episode in season 1.
Yeah. Okay.
But
we had Nate's mom, Rue's mom, and Cassie and
Sue's.
Lexi's mom.
Well, we'll get there in a second. Yeah. I love Leslie is just, she's such this beautiful presence, and I love her day dresses, and she dresses
sort of like an art professor.
Yeah. And we got the scene where Rue calls Al Coleman Domingo and Ellie, sorry. And apologizes to him, and both of theirs, but even his performance just through the phone was so good. And it's just like it was so well conveyed, her fear, and he's just such a good man. Like that's what you have to. It's like you have to. And I love what he said about how, I forget how he phrased it, but he was like, we have to be forgiving. Yeah. Because at any moment.
It was like a phrase from it was like from the Bible or something, but it was like,
And so he comes over to have dinner with Rue and the family. It was so nice. Somebody fucking asked Gia how she felt, what she thought.
How you doing, girl?
And she was defensive.
Yeah, no, I mean, rightly so. She was like, I would love it if it were true, but who knows?
To which Leslie was like, don't do that. And he was like, why can't she?
Yeah, she's allowed.
Because that's what I think that Rue and subsequently us, the audience, needed to understand, is it's not that we don't want her to get better or believe she can get better. It's that we been burned before.
Yeah.
It's like, of course we want her to get better. And also, of course, we believe, at least I do believe she can. But it's like, you can't, we've done this before. Yeah. We've done the talking part we've done before. And that was really allowing Rue to understand that it's like, it's not about punishment. Like, it's not about going to jail for X amount of months. It's about genuinely properly earning back the trust and respect. And I just love how it was presented.
You also have to want to get clean. So,
because they said that the 5% thing, and statistics can be misleading. Because it's like, yeah, there's only like a quote unquote 5% success rate, but how many of those people were actually trying to?
And how many got forced to go? It's a whole different thing.
Which as I recall, that was sort of the scenario the first time, where this time it does feel more active on her part. I guess I'll go to the Howard women first. We had a comment that I don't remember if they ever said it in the show, but the comment referred to her as Lady Howard, and I kind of love that.
Yes.
So I don't know if you made that up or if it was something I missed in the show, but I'm just calling her Lady Howard from here on out.
Suze.
She's fascinating because we've made comments about her merits as a person and a mother, and we did throw down at one point we called her worthless. I feel we have to take that off the table.
I'd like to
She's
amend that.
not worthless.
I think that we said that based on just her characterization of season 1, where she seemed just like an alcoholic mother that laid on the couch all day. And she has taken a much more active role in season 2. So I will.
She's not a good mother in the traditional, like, Leave It to Beaver sense.
Sure.
But she's smarter than we ever gave her credit for.
She's very savvy. She also is not willing to really take Cassie's bullshit. She's like, you are being ridiculous.
Really is.
Yeah.
This whole thing is so stupid. The Cassie Maddie Nate thing is so dumb and so stupid to be the crux of season 2 of Euphoria.
It is wild.
Because I'm like simultaneously all in and also couldn't be bothered by it. Because people are going hard. I don't really care. I like Cassie more than I like Maddie. However, this season and this episode in particular was doing laps. Maddie was really doing character work in this.
So I sort of agree with you. To me, Cassie is a more interesting character. To me,
what we've seen,
there's more. Yeah. There's more to her. I would love to get another Maddie episode so I can like get a little more.
I consider this, for me, this is a Maddie episode. Not exclusively, but this was a Maddie episode.
Yeah. I don't know. There's something because Maddie is she feels too finished already. Like, she feels too complete of a character.
But I think that was the part of the Minka Kelly scene where she's like, you're 18.
Well, sure.
If you were 40, this would be...
But that's the other thing is, like, I don't think Maddie is taking that on board.
I think she is.
Now.
Yeah.
But she hasn't in the past. And that's the thing that I like, that I appreciate about Cassie, is that she literally says to Nate in this episode, I ruined my entire life for you. But it's like, she believes that so sincerely that she ruined her life even a step further.
Look, I'm not trying to pretend that, like, banging your best friend's boyfriend isn't bad. I'm not at all. But the severity everybody is putting on this, I'm like, oh my fucking God. I mean, and there are different types of friendships. There are different types of romantic relationships and stuff. But some people have this, like, ride or die version of friendship where it's like, it's so on a pedestal and so idealized. And I think a more realistic depiction, show me my best friend and I'll show you someone that I've got history with, good and bad.
Yeah. Also, I've just already been dragged so hard in our comments.
But we
weren't together.
No, but I'm saying, I think that, like, some of my deepest wounds were inflicted by my best friends.
100%. Yeah.
And it is the mutual rebuilding of the relationship that secures the status, the friendship status. That's not for everyone. I'm not saying that is true of all of my friends.
No,
I'm not saying that's true for everyone, but I'm saying it's like some of the deepest crevices are between in very close relationships.
Yeah, I'm going to need every one of these Gen Z people to go read a Judy Blume book called Summer Sisters and get the fuck back to me.
No, it's like I'm very, very sort of, because Cassie is a very, I don't know what to say, because I started to say broken, and that's a terrible way to talk about a person, but she is
currently broken.
There is something, there is a hole that she is trying to fill.
And Nate is not it for that.
But she thinks it is.
She thinks he is.
And he is a void. I don't know why it took me to this episode. I genuinely kept thinking there was a method. And there's the scene where he's talking to his mother, Marcia. And
oh, God, fucking props for Marcia.
My second note is Marcia a real one?
Marcia is amazing. And I'm going to find that actress's name because I've seen her in other stuff. Oh my God. First of all, the other brother, what's his name? Aaron.
I can't be bothered.
He literally was like, "Mom, you're acting like you're in fucking high school." And it's like, yeah, her horrible husband just left. What are you expecting?
She brought out In Vogue.
Her name is Paula Marshall.
When you bring out In Vogue, shit is real. And he's just like, she's talking to Nate, and it's a very still waters run deep on her part, because she's cut through all the bullshit. Yep. And she's talking to him about how he knew about his dad cheating, and he looks her dead in the eye and was like, I didn't know that. And I'm like,
he's gone now. Who are you still protecting?
And that's the moment where I realized, where I was like, oh, people have been saying it. Oh, I know. People have been saying it. But that's the moment it got through to me. I'm a bit of a Cassie that way, where I was like, oh, there's nothing. It is shark eyes.
Yeah, oh yeah, shark eyes, for sure.
There is nothing there. And to the point where I'm like, is this split? Like, does he remember that he knows at any given point? I have no clue. I don't know what his end game is. Yeah. I don't know if he even has desires. This scene with Cassie, or with Maddie.
I can't.
I've never seen anything.
Sociopath. That's the thing.
I was over and he's like, I've never hurt you. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I keep cutting off. Go ahead.
This is literally the most sympathy I've had for Maddie the whole series. I was like, she does not deserve 1 ounce of this. When she comes in her bedroom after having like an actually super chill night with her boss, her nannying boss.
Much needed, I would say.
Sitting there in the chair.
You shrieked.
With the gun. Terrifying. At no point. Plus, it's like voyeuristic because he watches her change clothes, which is like off limits for him now.
And again, I know that he had done this before because he did it to Lucas Gage in season 1.
Right, yeah.
But it's like, I just, and we're jumping all around. I have so much more to say, but that's also, I'm going where the conversation takes us, man.
Like, for him to show up there with a gun, that did have bullets in it, just FYI. And then menace her.
I think he meant the Russian roulette part. It didn't.
Maybe.
So I don't know whether he faked put one in or not. I have no fucking idea.
But to menace her that way into giving back the tape, where I feel like, not to say that Maddie is reasonable, because she's absolutely not reasonable, but I think he didn't have to go all the way to the Russian roulette. He could have just been.
But also the layers, because she thinks he's going to hurt her first.
Yeah.
He goes in like he's going to, but then turns it back on himself. That is mindfuckery to the nth degree.
It's so bad.
And the kissing her while he's doing it. So bad. I couldn't write this.
No. I don't have that my mind doesn't go that far down. Like, there's not that much darkness in my brain.
And it just like, and then the scene with Jules.
That was actually, because, okay, but that's again where you're like, shark eyes, but then it's like in that
But moment, maybe I can change him.
It's not maybe I can change him, but you're like, shark eyes, and then in that moment, you're like, what the fuck is this dude? Because he is super cordial to Jules, and he's like, I'm sorry, and she's like, I don't care, and he's like, no, I know you don't, but you have to listen to my apology, because the thing after it is what you want, and you have to listen to me apologize first, which is selfish, but it's also like, it implies that he does feel a level of guilt about it.
Which I agreed up until this episode. And now I'm like...
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Who is he performing for? Because,
I don't know.
Because the thing is, even when the Jules thing happened with him the first time, I was like, this is too real.
Yeah.
The relationship that they had concocted.
And he even implies such...
He doesn't imply, he says.
And he's like, I meant everything I said.
And she was like, I did too. And it just like... And I love her with the box cutter. And because at first when she told him, I was like, girl, don't tell him. But then I love that she did tell him.
Yeah.
Because we also have to remember...
In case I needed to slit your throat specifically is what she said.
But she's also the one that like at the party when he was getting crazy at the party, she cut her own arm, remember?
Yeah.
So there is scrap to spare in.
Well, and then it's like the very end of the episode... He just texts or he calls Cassie and is like, I'm coming to your place, pack a bag. You're coming with me. What?
Because that was the deal. It's like, oh, he's going to kill her. Like he's going to kill them.
Well, because you were very nervous when Jules got in the car. And I was like, no, I know. And you were like, well, men like him stay killing trans women. And I was like, that is accurate. And then he's with Cassie. And I was like, well, in fairness, men like him stay killing girls like Cassie too. So I was really nervous for both.
I don't know why I get the Cassie thing. I guess it's just because, and no, my mother was not like Cassie. Actually, maybe she was at one point. I don't know. But my mom was always very, bless her heart, about girls that fell and head over heels with the wrong kind of guy. And so I just know a certain type of girl is going to put everything in the kitchen sink into a guy, the wrong guy for the wrong reasons. And it just, there's something to me poetic about it, that it feels, because I've mentioned once or twice before, and I mean, I want to do this. I want to get hyperbolic and exaggerate and throw down the word mythos, but it's like, there is a mythic quality to a lot of this. Yeah. It's not quite American Gothic, but it's sort of, considering it's such a modern, timely, topical story, there are elements that are so Shakespearean. Yeah. I mean, we're so used to Romeo and Juliet that we never consider the fact that story's fucking nuts.
I mean, I know it's nuts.
No, I know, but it's romanticized. Yeah. We don't think of it that like that shit is what's happening here is happening in fable and literature and all of that. And it's just kind of, I don't know, and that's where I think Sam Levinson's heightened everything, but especially the visuals, I think that they really aid. Yeah,
I also think he and whoever did casting need like a huge round of applause for Jacob Elordi specifically, because he towers over these girls.
He
is
gasped when he put his hand on Maddie, because it was like the size of her entire abdomen.
His hand is like 2 of my hands. Like this. That's how big his hand is.
Ugh. And just the physicality of it. I mean, this is, I said this in reference to Lexi and Fez initially, but this is some twisted Beauty and the Beast shit.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. And then, so there was also the part with Marcia where she was like, I don't understand how you inherited all of your dad's worst qualities.
But these Jacobs.
Yeah.
People, I was gonna say kids, but man, there is some truth and nothing but the truth. They lay it. I mean, their dad did throw a grenade, so then what are they saving it for? But
then he also, like, because even Nate was like, Aaron's a fucking idiot, and Marcia just was like, yeah, you got that right. Chardonnay.
I love that everyone was blackout drunk by 10:30 in the morning.
Everyone was hammered in this episode.
And fucking Cassie trying to. Sorry, apparently we laugh about suicide. I don't know. Cassie trying to kill herself with the
corkscrew.
The corkscrew. And Sue's being like, oh, honey.
That's not going to cut. Because she also has Lexi hide a basket full of knives in the yard.
And Lexi's kind of like, Mom.
She's like, are you serious? She's like, your sister's having a very hard time. Just do it.
It makes me think there's a run on Desperate Housewives where Danielle is having a hard time.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, I think he was like, she tried to slit her wrist with a butter knife. What's next? She gonna jump off the porch? But it was giving me that. I'm like you. I was trying to remember, because Marcia was given. She was given and taking. Everybody was giving and taking. There was nuggets, just absolute nuggets of wisdom, and also, there was a lot of like, we do not have one single solitary safe space in this entire show.
No. Jules' dad.
For now.
So far.
For now. Because there's also, like, what is up with Minka Kelly? It's weird, right?
It's a little weird. I don't totally get it.
If this were a 10-season arc, I would be certain that there's some weird plot long con happening. But because there's only 2 more episodes, I'm like, okay, maybe she's just a strange mentor character.
I mean, she's great. I love Minka Kelly. I love seeing her on my TV, but it's weird.
She's just like, we keep thinking that Maddie's going to get in trouble.
For trying on the clothes and stuff. And
I don't know. There's something weird. Yeah. There's something weird about it. I'm going to leave it at that. But, and I like I said, I did like her point because it's like Maddie is so black and white about this shit right now. And I love that she was like, oh man, I did that when I was, because people contain multitudes. I mean, sometimes you're the villain in somebody's story.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a bad person. Like, and also that's how we find out who we are sometimes.
Making mistakes.
By doing something and thinking that didn't feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, you remember I had a summer in college where I was like, I'm going to go down and bring everybody with me. And it took some time to
get on the sinking ship.
And I learned from that and haven't gone back to that. Yeah. So I would like I said, I would like to believe that she's a mentor, that this is a glimpse into who Maddie could be. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Fez and Lexi finally, although the implication was kind of that they've been spending a little bit of time here and there.
Yeah.
They watch Stand By Me. He's very supportive of her endeavors, even though I maintain he doesn't have a clue.
About what?
Like, he knows she's writing a play, but
I mean,
I think that's abstract to him.
Sure, but he knows some stuff. Like, he makes references and stuff.
Sure.
He's not stupid.
No, I get that.
Don't take this away from me. I'm living vicariously through Lexi. I'm in love with Fez.
She's gonna get herself killed. I said that. I was like, this does not end well for either of them because I don't know what the fuck is going on. So I now understand that it's Custer, that Faye is Custer's girlfriend. Yeah. Custer's the one with the broken nose who used to work with Mouse, who Ashtray killed with a hammer. For some reason, the police give a fuck about what happened to Mouse. I don't know why. The only thing I can imagine is if it's like drug related, like they were closing in on him and then.
Yeah, but now he's dead, so.
It seems like a weird thing.
I need a little more clarification on that as well.
And so Custer's cooperating with the police. He doesn't understand what that means, but he is. Well, because it wasn't his idea, he thinks it's not.
Yeah.
He's told Faye, and he's attempting to get her, he's attempting to get her out of there, I guess. I'm gonna go all in on Faye.
If anyone's dying, it's Faye.
I just don't want, that can't be the point of this character.
I mean.
Do you know what I mean? Because then she would have died in like the second episode.
No.
I love Faye so much.
She is great. I think she's
such a weird character that I'm like, I don't know. I'm choosing to hope that she's going to somehow save the day in the end, even though she's most likely going to end up face down in a puddle in a ditch.
Yeah.
I guess all that means is just that the cops are on to Fez and Ashtray.
Yeah, there's a little clip of Ashtray's face in the next episode that I cannot wait for.
I feel like there was still one or two other things that we didn't.
Well, Kat and Ethan broke up. Kat.
So it's consistent with what I remember from season 1.
Yeah.
But there's also this like gossip about her walking off set. So there's part of me where I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Are these bold character choices or is it unfinished storytelling?
It feels more like unfinished storytelling to me but it also is hilarious because she gaslights him into gaslighting her into gaslighting him.
And he didn't.
So that he'll break up with her.
He didn't fall for it.
He sort of did because he broke up with her.
Yeah, but still, he didn't let her manipulate him. Like, he broke up with her because he wasn't going to play games.
Okay, fair enough. But the
answer's not, I'm staying with you. Just
no, of course, but I feel like she did what she was trying to.
She was trying to make him break up with her.
Him to do it. Yeah.
So that she wouldn't have to.
Yeah.
But she did a really.
That.
She did, but she just did a really bad job of it. And because I don't even understand what her plan was.
She also looked like she had immediate regret about it. Like, he walked up and left and she was like, ugh.
I don't know that it was regret. Because it was exceptionally stupid.
Yeah.
Because what did she was phrasing it weird too. It's like,
I have a brain disorder.
Yeah, a terminal brain disorder.
That's also something that like is easily verifiable in 6 months when you're still alive.
That's kind of my like. It was very 13 Yemen Road Yemen, where I was like, "What is your long game here?" Because at a certain point, I don't know. It was very bizarre. I think Ethan is also a real one, and I
like Austin Abrams a lot too.
I think good riddance. I think he's better off.
Yeah.
Him and Lexi belong together. I know you people love Lexi and Fez. That's fine, whatever.
You want Ethan to be with Lexi?
Yeah.
Have they even shared a scene together? Just because they're two real ones?
Because they're good people. They need to get the hell out of this town.
Lexi's making questionable decisions. This play looks like, we thought Rue dropped a bomb last week. Let's wait for next week when Lexi drops a fucking bomb.
I do want to say, so I've never been Cassie in quite this particular way.
Yeah.
But there was something really kind of that I related to in like a little way of her just kind of storming in and out screaming at everybody because she can't be alone with herself.
Yeah.
So she just kind of kept storming back in and picking fights with them, and she was like running circles with the logic.
She was just like screaming her side of the story.
But they were broken up! And I'm like, which at that point, I mean, I'm on her side technically in that regard, but also at a certain point, who gives a fuck? Like, you keep saying that like it's an undo button.
Well, okay. I think she's saying it not like it's an undo button, but it's because she needs someone to understand her side of the story. And no one is like, yeah, I get it. It still was not a good thing to do.
It's just wild to me that her arc this season started with her drunkenly jumping out of a car on her way to a New Year's party and having a moment because she makes bad choices.
Yeah.
That's how we got here.
Yeah. Still making bad choices, girl. That's the thing is, like, I never claimed that sleeping with Nate was a good choice.
No.
Anybody sleeping with Nate is a bad choice. But it's the
people nuance. Are talking about it like she stabbed her mother in the face.
Yeah, and it's the nuance of the situation where it's like, yes, they were technically broken up. That doesn't make it a good decision. It just means that she is morally in the clear, in my opinion.
And
what makes it bad is how secretive she was about it. If she had gone up to Maddie and was like, hey, I've been sleeping with Nate, then she could feel totally morally in the clear. But it was the secrecy that made it as bad as it is.
Well, she's got him now. And there was
just
like
beating him up at the end too. Who wants him?
It was very goddamn you, Bill Compton. Like, it was not.
Like, he's hot and all, but ugh. Well, I don't know. Marsha likes her. Maybe Marsha will look out for her. She doesn't look out. She never looked out for Maddie.
Yeah, but Marsha. Well, that's different. Her issues with Maddie.
Yeah. For sure.
In a bad way.
Yeah.
But she I don't know. As funny as I found Marsha, and as much as I agreed with some of her points, some of her other points, I'm like, this fucking Lady Macbeth bitch.
Did you not agree what she said about Maddie? Where she was like, you didn't get her pregnant, did you? She'd keep the baby just to spite
Oh, no,
you.
I absolutely agree with that.
True.
But
that's so true.
Because even like with the whole like you choked her, and he's like,
no, I didn't. Yes, you did.
I would
bitch.
never. And it's like, and that's where I'm like, does he believe that?
I think he does. Well, because she's right. He's got all of Cal's bad qualities. Because Cal...
That was so funny. Because, again, I'm feeling slightly justified in my slight defense, slight Cal sympathizing.
Well, Cal never had a chance, and because, like Marcia said, Cal doesn't believe in therapy, therefore Nate never had a chance. And so it's just this horrible cycle of just toxic masculinity that's never going to end.
Mm-hmm. But even just like, it's this has been stuck in my like algorithm lately, but it's like that weekend update bit with Cecilia Jimenez who messed up the painting of Jesus, and she's like describing Colin Jost back to himself, and he's just like, or Seth Meyers, and he's like, oh, you don't even see things the right way, like that. You just, that's how I feel with Nate. I'm just like, oh, you don't even see the world the same way.
Like your brain just isn't correct.
Because he was like, oh, if you think Dad's such a saint, and she's like, that's not what I said. And he's like, yes, it is. And I was like, that is not even close to what she said. You don't even see things. Like
he was doing some gaslighting too.
It just, I don't know. This was a breathtaking episode. And it is funny. I mean, things did happen, but also it's astonishing we've been talking for so long, given how little actually was progressed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, these were all necessary. This was culminations. Yeah. Did we mention that he did, in fact, give the DVD back to Jules?
He did. Yeah, he did. He said, it's the only copy I know
that he knew of. And
I was actually sort of convinced that Maddie had kept the real one.
At this point, for
why?
Yeah. I mean,
just carrying it around with her everywhere.
Cassie's the one with the death wish, not Maddie.
That's true. Super true.
Maddie doesn't go down that easily. Yeah. So, is that everything? That's all I can remember.
I think that's everything. Yeah. This is a good episode. I can't wait for next week.
The play.
Because
apparently, according to the preview, they're all in the audience mid-play. And they're like, is this about us? And we're going to get Bobby back.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be so fun.
So, all right. Let us know how wrong and stupid we are. And if you want to check back next week where we talk about it all again.
Bye.